Hey guys, I'm Alana from Win-Win and welcome to this week's episode of Insights. As you know, I love talking to interesting people from the mining industry to give you other options of career pathways that you might not have even thought about and to help you to make the most out of your career within the mining industry. Now, my guest today had a super interesting job in the industry. That's what he's done after his mining career, and the team that he's working with now have achieved phenomenal results for people within the mining industry, which is why I've been stalking him for a bit and wanted to get him on today to have a chat for you. I know that you might be time poor, so at the end of this video, we're also going to give you a free resource. So if you're watching right now from the YouTube channel, it's going to be a link in the description. If you're watching from TikTok, same me, and we'll send you the link to a free resource that you can download to help you to get results like what we're going to be talking about soon. Anyway, welcome Shane from WT Capital, who used to work in explosives. Welcome to the podcast, Shane.
Hey, Alana, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. What about yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good. Just in Perth at the moment, actually. Obviously reside in Queensland, but just here to visit my kids and just before Christmas. So it's good.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I've got to admit, I first stumbled across you when in my Facebook group, like we had a poll running about different ways that people were minimizing their tax so that they can actually exit the industry faster. And Siri, obviously with the help of Siri stalking me, came across your advertisement, which is how I've been following you for a little while longer. So thank you so much for coming on. Let's talk.
That's all good. Thanks for having me, Alana. All good.
Anytime. Let's talk about your job because you had a job in explosives in the mining industry, which a lot of people have no idea about. Tell me, how did you get into that job initially?
Yeah, good question. Look, funny story is that obviously I was born and bred in New Zealand. I got made redundant back home in New Zealand, and we just decided, chase that big dream like everyone else, come over to Australia, get the big mining job, uh, make it big and get all the money. So when I first come over to Australia, I moved to a little place in the middle of the desert in WA called Kalgoorlie.
Yep.
It's literally, obviously, you probably know Alana, one street in, one street out.
Yeah.
So yeah. And when I did move over there, I was in the middle of the GFC pretty much. So all the jobs were shutting down, and I had heaps of friends and family there. So I just went walking, and we just knocking on company doors, and I ended up being actually the local Kalgoorlie pool boy. So I was like servicing pools, yeah, and
That's
installing.
different.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good. But then, an opportunity come up to become part of Orica Mining Services, and then the rest is history from there. For mining, I was in there for like good 7 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Wow.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's how I got into
So,
the mining industry.
yeah. So how did you go from like initially getting that very first job? So you were a pool boy and then you went just knocking on doors in Cal and said, hey, how you going? I'm here. What do I need to get this job? Give me a job. Is that how that worked?
No, we had people that I knew, like family friends in the recruitment space as yourself, but they just couldn't get us a job, like, because we just didn't have, I went over with my cousin, but they didn't have jobs or traineeships or doing just brand new to it. So I
Yeah.
actually was cleaning one of the big boss's pools for Orica, and
Oh,
I just stumbled across. He come out, wondering what I was doing, told him, and then we started talking, and I got to know him, and pretty much he asked me my background from back in New Zealand, and yeah, just told him that, and we pretty much he gave me an interview, sent me to the right direction, and that's pretty much it.
that's awesome. And that's one of the things we always say to people, if you're struggling to get in, consider going to one of the regional areas because to get a job out in one of those areas is just so much easier. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, 100%. Like when we first went over, everyone used to say to us, just go to the pubs, bump into the people that you talk to. You talk to so many people at the pubs, and especially in Kalgoorlie, there's so many pubs there. But
Yeah.
you talk to people, and you sort of get an understanding of the industry of sort of what you need to be doing. They'll give you phone numbers to ring. Obviously, everyone when they're drunk, they're going to give you all their boss's numbers and that. So and then that's pretty much what we used to do. Just because, like I said, we had no experience in the mines.
Yeah.
We fresh as it was the GFC, and then that's what happened. So that's how I got into that.
And I can imagine the guys giving you the boss's number were like, don't say it came from me.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's what they used to say too. And it was but it was cool. You shout them a beer, and then your money soon was getting run out because you didn't have a job, so you had to just find anything and pick anything up. So
Yeah.
uh, being in that, everyone wants a pool in Kalgoorlie. It's so hot. So yeah, I
Yeah,
landed
why not?
that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell me, for people who have got no idea what you'd be doing on the explosives crew, from the moment that you woke up in the morning to the moment that you went to bed at night, what would a typical day look like? Like, what were some of the duties that you're doing, equipment that you're operating? Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I was part of the emulsion team, making emulsion. So, for the MMU trucks.
Yep.
So we'd be doing all the emulsion. So you start at 6, so you get up early. So you'd be going to work in the dark, coming home in the dark, when it's winter. You get up, so you do your pre-start, your toolboxes, get everything ready, do your handover, go to your get all your recipes and it sorted, and then load the MMU truck. So that was in a nutshell, that was us in a day. You'd have anywhere between 10 to 12 trucks that you have to load up, and consistently making the tanks full and preparing for the next day and the next shift. So but it was a cool experience. I loved it. So it was good.
Yeah. And for people who don't know, the MMU trucks are the mobile manufacturing units. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So that'll be like putting in the stemming, and then you'd take it out to where the blast holes were, shove it down the hole, and then the guys would blow stuff up,
Yeah,
basically. Is that
yeah,
right?
correct. Yeah, correct. So you load the truck up you load from the pipes, and it comes into the MMUs. They'd load it up, wait for it to be loaded up, obviously safely drive off, then pump all that emulsion into the holes where they'd be planned, and then they'll blow up. So, yeah.
Perfect. And being obviously in a town, it would have been different. So you wouldn't have had the mess or anything like that. So how did that work? Did you have to obviously get your own food, or did the sites supply it, or the company, or how did that work?
We've been in a small town. So when I first started, I was in the Kalgoorlie itself. So pretty much drive in, drive out. So you just had your own food. You go do your own food, and then later on down the track, when I left Kalgoorlie, I was actually doing FIFO, so for a couple of times, a couple of swings, and that pretty much got over it when you couldn't spend Christmas at home. So and
Yeah.
all your typical, birthdays, family get-togethers, and I wasn't
Yeah.
that because I was like always, in town, drive in, drive out. I got to do that sort of stuff, because I might have been there for the first bit and then leave for work, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But it was
Perfect.
always
And I'm
always
sure a lot of people who are watching this now, being the fact that it's the 5th of December, are starting to get that thought as well. Oh, I've got to be up here for Christmas, away from my family, so potentially residential could be a better option as well.
yeah, yeah, and definitely, like, especially coming to that time, especially if you've got a young family, and everyone knows that when you do, it just happens to be, if it's on your shift, it's on your shift. It's on your swing, it's on your swing. You just gotta, suck it up sometimes and do it. And if you got a young family, it's so hard for
Yeah.
you. And it's, those are the time stuff and the memories that you'll never get back, right? Because it's your kid's first Christmas or your kid's first birthday, and unfortunately you're not there, and
Yeah.
that's hard. That's hard. And if it's
Absolutely.
the first time out in the mines, it's like, oh my God. If you're single, maybe it's all good. But there's going to come a time when you are going to have a family, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to the job, what licenses and qualifications did you need, or would somebody need now to get one of those roles?
Yeah, awesome question. Like back then, I don't know what it is now. I've been out of the game for a little bit, but back then I just, because I was heavily manufacturing back home and
Mhm.
operating and in factories and stuff, like that was one of our main ones. I used to work in, I don't know if people remember Griffin's, the Griffin biscuit factory. I used to work
Still
there. So
do.
like, yeah, yeah. So like used to do all that stuff, build tires. So I was in the manufacturing stuff, and then that was, I had car license and had good referees as well. So good for references always work.
Perfect. And like a lot of people don't know that operating an MMU and getting a traineeship, like operating one of those trucks, is such a great career path, because where you can go afterwards is like is pretty awesome compared to the the normal jobs that people know about, which is the dump truck traineeship, where like half of Australia are applying for those jobs. So this could be a really great opportunity. And I know at the moment, I believe that you need the HR driver's license to get an MMU traineeship. So if you're watching, that potentially could be an option for you.
Yeah, definitely. With the HR, like when I first got into Orica, I was doing the sausages. People who is in the explosive game, they'll know the sausages, the actual dynamite themselves. So we were producing those.
Cool.
And then our Orica actually asked me if I wanted to, step up and be a truck driver at MMU. So I took it on board, and they actually put me through my licenses. They put me through my HR, which was awesome. And you having an HR license anywhere, no matter what job, it helps, So
Yes, I
my
agree.
recommendation is go out, get your HR, spend that little bit of money to get your HR, and that can actually take you a lot of places in the mining industry.
Definitely. And it's a tax deduction. So why not? Like, as opposed to a dump truck ticket where they really aren't asked for on a lot of sites anyway, the HR can open up so many doors. I'm constantly saying that. So thanks for reiterating as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely would. It really helps.
And tell me, what career opportunities could exist after you get into that role? Like, where could you go?
As in after explosives?
Yeah.
It just depends. Like, usually when you're in that whole explosive game, it's people, if you want to go into, like, if you want to move back into town, you look for chemical factories, any factories pretty much that are producing stuff, your
Yeah.
shampoos, if you want to go back into town where you don't have to do FIFO and in the mining industry, I would look at chemical factories, anywhere that there's a manufacturing, process that you have to do. And
Yeah.
if you got an MMU, you can just be a truck driver, right? Like you can go anywhere you want. You can be, long haul driver, delivering freight. The options are limitless. So
Yeah, definitely. And for that specific job, who would you say would be perfect to get one of those jobs?
yeah, good question. Real good question. So I actually didn't think I was going to be perfect for that job, right? But I think having, able to listen to instructions, follow instructions. The last thing you want is put the wrong ingredients in, and it doesn't
Yeah.
explode, um, or putting too much of this in, and the scientists, geologists come back and say, look, hey, this isn't going off, and start questioning stuff. But I think if you're able to listen to instructions and follow instructions, uh, think outside the box, be able to, sometimes it will get hectic if trucks are behind coming in to load. You got to think out of the box. Okay, you got to, bring this truck in before. So having that sort of, I don't know, initiative maybe to be proactive,
Yeah.
and to actually be able to, when you're under the pump, be able to just be calm, stress-free, and yeah, just pretty much that. I like just to do that. Main thing is listening to following instructions, because the last thing you want is it doesn't go off.
Yeah, definitely. That would not be a good look, especially when you're playing with explosives. So 100%.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
How did how did you find? I know you briefly touched on being away from your family at Christmas and all that sort of stuff. What do you think is the biggest challenge these days for people working in the mining industry?
Um, for me, I think it's social media, right? So you get that FOMO all the time in your face. It's people are sharing all these stories, and you got nothing out there. There's no option but to look at social media. So I think that's I think social media was just sort of coming in. Instagram wasn't a thing. TikTok
Yeah.
wasn't. Snapchat wasn't a thing. I'm showing my age right now, but like it wasn't a thing, right? It was Facebook. Facebook was it. So
Yeah.
like obviously,
Agreed.
yeah, you
I only
can't hit.
found TikTok last year. I was like, what the? I totally had the wrong idea about it. So yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
definitely. 100%.
yeah.
And I'm still like struggling with TikTok, sorry. But like back then, like you weren't allowed your phones on site anyway. You had to go back to the mess and the dongers and
Which is
that.
a good thing, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Like yeah. So I think with social media these days, you could it's hard. not to look at it and look at what everyone's doing. People are posting up, they're in that party mode, they're in that holiday mode, and you're thinking like, oh man, like I wish I was there, right? And it happens to every single person in the industry. Like if you say, it's all good, it's part of the job, yeah, it is, but you know yourself that you're missing your family, and especially those times. Yeah, the work might put you on a bit of a lunch, breakfast, if you're on day shift, breakfast if you're on, night shift,
Yeah.
breakfast if you're on morning shift. It's not the same though, right? Like you see these
Yes.
people day in, day out. The last thing, you want to spend these quality moments with your families.
Yeah,
Especially.
definitely. And besides that, obviously, how did you like mental health is such a massive thing at like in the moment, especially. It's got a big spotlight on it. How did you find like, dealing with, or did you have any issues when you were out there, and how did you deal with them?
Good question. Like gym was a big one out in the site, a mine site, like gym. You'd have, obviously still had like FaceTime and that. And so you spend as much time as you can on the FaceTime on that day. Really hard though. Like it's a hard time of year for miners. Like either it's the pressure of not being at home, right? And the pressure of you're doing this for your family. You keep telling yourself you're doing this for your family, but then there's a pressure of like, what if as mental health, like so much pressure you build up inside yourself, and then it just I think the way you just deal with it is if read heaps of audio books, educational books, try and get like a good meditation going on. I know that might sound woo-wee, but that actually does work. And
Yeah, I meditate, so I totally agree.
Gym's a big one, especially if you're it builds so many good endorphins when you run or when you're in the gym, and that was a big one. And I think that's why a lot of boys just hit the gym, so they'll just go, and girls, sorry, ladies. So you finish work, quickly shower up, go to the gym, then go to get your dinner, and then go to sleep. Just
Yeah. And definitely don't isolate yourself. A lot of people go out there and they end up like, spiraling, and they're just going to work and then eating and then going to sleep and then just keeping to themselves. Like guaranteed that's some people's personality, but still a lot of people will do it the wrong way. And you've still got to have that sort of interaction with other people when you're out on site. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. And if you do see someone like that, like my main advice to you is just slowly try and bring them in, because
Yeah.
First time, second time they might say nah. But I think, and a beer always goes good. Like some sites you can have a beer together, just go, oh, come for one beer, and just have a yarn to them, because it's very hard for someone who's stuck in that situation to be able to be forward and come forward and, just say, oh yeah, cool. But just if you do see someone like that, just go and see them and just go and say, hey, how are you? And
Yeah.
just cool.
Definitely. And how long were you working in the mining industry for in total?
I think about anywhere between, I think it was about 7 years, roughly 7, 8 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, it was good. It was
And
fun.
were you setting goals there? Did you have an exit plan? How did that work?
Like I'd love to say yes on this stream. I'd love to say, yeah, I had this plan, blah, blah, blah. Look, originally our initial plan was to come over to New Zealand from New Zealand, have that 5-year plan, that everyone has, 5 years, going to do that, then come back. But life takes control. Like in life gets, you end up, buying cars, buying everything, all the toys.
Jet skis.
Right, your jet skis, going on holidays, and you find yourself like creeping back to your old ways. Right, so you find yourself having to stay in the mining industry because there's no way. If you go back into town and you just go on a normal job, it's not gonna be able to pay for your habits, pretty much. Not like habits, but like your cars, your whatever, your lifestyle. Your lifestyle that you've created.
Yeah.
Going back into a normal everyday nine to five job is not going to help. So
Definitely. What about, did you go up there and have a savings plan, or were you just kind of winging it and buying jet skis? And
oh yeah, I definitely had a savings plan. Had a savings plan, but the plan, it was just it was a plan, and that's all. There
Yeah.
was no action behind it, right? So to have a plan, you need action stuff. And unfortunately, like I had a plan, had dreams, had goals
Yeah.
back then. So and nothing eventuated because there was no actions, So like if I was going to say, oh, I want to buy a property, in the mines while I'm in the mines, that's cool. But what's your action? What are
Yeah.
you going to do?
100%. And what would be your best advice for somebody who's working in the mining industry or contemplating going in right now, thinking, is this for me? Yeah.
In mining industry,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of always giving things a crack. So um, if you've got a little inkling and this is your way to get financial, free, or to just get yourself set up, I'm a firm believer if that's what you want to do, just do it. Like just go ahead and do it. I mean, you can always say no. Like you can always say,
Quit.
this isn't for me. Right. So,
Yeah.
but you can't say that if you haven't given it a go. You can't
Yeah.
say that, oh, this mining's not for me. But if you haven't done it, then how do you know? So
Yeah.
I'm more like a firm believer. Say, just give it a crack. Give it a crack.
Good.
You
Yeah.
never know. You never know until you
Good
know.
advice. What
Yeah.
about, let's talk about I mean, the real reason why I got you on here today is because I wanted to talk about what you're doing now because it is pretty phenomenal. And when I found you guys, I was like, oh my God, where were you guys 17 years or, when I started in the mining industry in 2001, because I probably wouldn't have had to spend 17 years in the industry. So let's talk about what you're doing now and how you're actually helping people in the mining industry to build a crazy amount of wealth from some of the results that I've seen you guys achieve. And just do a brief intro into that one if you can.
Yeah, cool. Look, we obviously I work for WT Capital. So WT Capital, we help people create wealth through property. Okay, so using superannuation, savings, equity from your own property. But in the past, so 2019, I first started with them to what's 2024, 5 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's coming up to 6 years. So predominantly we've been, helping people use their super to purchase investment properties. Right? So it's real hard to get in. Everyone knows it's hard to get into the property game, and everyone wants to do it,
Yeah.
but they just don't know how. Okay, so then you've got people, especially in the mines, they're on such a good income. They've got over 140K super. And if you're like me when I was in the mines, you wouldn't even know what super is. You just
Yeah.
keep turning up to work. Everything just keeps getting paid into, and you're always like, oh, what's super? What's that? It's just money that sit there for your retirement.
Yeah.
So help people use that super and leverage that to purchase investment properties. So we do the whole process for you from start to finish. From
Amazing. And just go into that because, yeah, a lot of people, especially miners, they don't have the time and it's just like super boring. Like I'm sure my employer is looking after it for me. I know that I was like that for a long time until I saw some of the results I was getting from property versus my super, which, I started working when I was 15 and to get it up to 150,000, bought a house and in 5 months it had gone up by 150,000. It's like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? So tell me about some of the results that you guys have been able to get for your clients, especially FIFO workers.
yeah, good question. Like honestly, in the last 18 to 24 months, we've had just crazy results. So people who've been in the industry for like yourself, like anywhere between
Too
50,
long.
yeah, like long, right?
Yeah.
Then they decide to click on our ad or just get in touch with us, and we go through like a process where we want to see if they're qualified. Okay, so
Yeah.
people come to us, they've been in the industry, say, for 15 years. They've only got like 180K in their super, right? And you're thinking,
Only.
yeah, they're 55 years old, and you're like, well, realistically, you haven't got enough to retire on. Just show them numbers. So to answer your question, like one of those that have 180K in their super, we purchased the property for him back in 18 months ago. We bought it for 385. We sold it recently for 585. Okay, so he's
Wow.
made 200K in the space of 18 months.
Amazing.
So that's after he's paid the rest of the loan off, everything he needs to do. Made 200K. Now we're able to buy him 2 more properties and so leverage it that way, right? And then now he's got a portfolio where he's got 2 properties inside there, inside a super, that are both worth around the 400, 450 mark. So
That's amazing.
when he does retire, he's got enough to retire on, so
Yeah.
and then now we are able to help him use his equity in his own personal name to purchase him another investment property in his personal name. Because the good thing about super is that when you purchase a property inside super, nothing that you have outside your personal name affects what you do. Right? So your day-to-day living, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome. Tell me about like I know when COVID hit, my super went boom, see you later. How do you find that went as opposed to what you guys were able to, some of the results that you were able to get for your clients?
Yeah, like crazy. Like all my mates that were in the mining game as well, and I used to approach them and talk to them about it. That was prior to COVID. They're like, "Oh no, it's all right. It's all right, sitting there. It's all good, man." And I'm like, "That's cool." COVID happens. People losing 20 to 30K in a week.
Yep.
One of my clients actually lost 80K in the space of like 2 months. So,
Wow.
prior to that, you talk to them and they had enough. Then after COVID, they didn't have enough because their money was invested and they had no control over it, and it was invested into stocks and shares. So once
Yeah.
COVID happened, stocks and shares drop, all their money goes. So
Yeah.
and it was a good time. It was actually a good time for property in the sense, because people were purchasing property that, I mean, I always say the smart people always buy property when it's at its lowest,
Yeah.
and then the not so, the people who don't really know about property, they buy it at the top, at the peak,
Yeah.
so, and
Definitely.
that's what people were doing, buying it at the lowest. And now, look at it now.
Yeah, definitely. And tell me, you guys work with a lot of fly in, fly out workers. Why are they the best people to be able to make the most out of an opportunity like creating a self-managed super fund?
Yeah, good question. I think it's because they're so time poor, right? They're time poor. Like I said before, that you go to work in the dark, you come home in the dark. That's for like depending on your roster, your swing. You come home 2 days out of that time, you're resting, you're recuperating. Then you're catching up with friends and family because it's the weekend. It usually happens on Thursday, Friday, then Saturday, Sunday. You catch up with the friends and family.
Yeah.
Then you've got to go back to work, right? So they've time for, they've got no, they just can't. They want to do it, but they just can't.
Yeah.
And that's why it helps, because one, they know that they'll just pay someone to get the results done.
Yeah.
To see
Definitely.
results. Now you just and I think with a lot of miners as well, I think they're just over being in that game. Sometimes some of them,
Yeah.
and want to get out. So sometimes that they just want a way out or an exit strategy for them. So if they do come out of FIFO, they're set up.
Yeah.
And that's our I think that's one of the major ones is time for, though, and not enough understanding. Because I remember when I was in the mines, you'd have people from the super companies that were attached to it would come in and talk to you about your super, but they wouldn't be telling you about you could do this to go to do property, right? There was
Yeah.
no education around the whole thing. But I mean, it's coming. Like when I first started, there was hardly any information on it, but there's a lot of information on it now. So
Yeah. And what do you think the future of superannuation is? I know that the government's always fiddling around with it and, raising the age when you can retire. What are your thoughts on why this is like what potentially could happen in that side of the industry and why this would be the better option?
yeah. Look, government, even jobs, employers, they always move the goalpost. Like everything always gets moved. So you think you're just about there, they suddenly just shift it. So I think, with you having your self-managed super fund and having a property, it's a physical asset, right? Where
Yeah.
you can, you can see it, you can you can touch it, you can feel it, you know that, like, you look at property over the last 30 years in Australia, it's outperformed, on that basis, outperform the super industry funds, and it's right there on Google too. You can just have a look at it, see how your fund has performed, and compared to what you would do with property. There's so many success stories. A lot of our clients that have purchased 18 to 24 months ago have made well over 180 to 250K.
Wow.
And they're like last month, we had 10 repeat clients who've just sold all their properties. They're going to go again and get 2 more. And these are people that we talk to, like just normal everyday people like myself, yourself, who just want, they just don't know how to get into the property in the money game, and then they purchase that one property. When you first talk to them, they're like, oh, I'd love to retire on 2 to 3 properties, and then it's cool. Like you've got another 10 years, but they're doing it in 18 months to get 3.
Amazing. And I know, like, I looked, especially when I was FIFO, I looked into this as a long time ago, and I was like, all right, I feel that I'm, responsible enough to take care of my own money, and to invest in a self-managed super fund, but I never went through with it because I just thought, oh, too hard basket. Tell me about the process that you guys go through when somebody comes to you initially, what they need to do to qualify, and then what the process is for you to help them to actually set it up.
Yeah, cool. It's actually quite funny, like when you say that is how the process is, and it's in the too hard box. Like we have so many.
Okay, so Shane, tell me, right? I know years ago when I was FIFO and I was looking into like the self-managed super funds to buy property, I was just like, too hard basket. It just looked too complicated. So tell me, what is the process you guys go through when somebody new comes to you, they click on your ad, then what happens?
Yeah, good question. So that's it's actually it's a common conversation we have with a lot of our mining people, is that it just gets too hard, so we just you first do it and you think about it, and then it's too hard and we don't know where to go next. And that's obviously what we do, is we do the whole process from start to finish. Okay, so from when you do inquire, we'll give you a call. We'll obviously ask you a few questions just to see if you qualify. So ask you, see how much super you have, what your annual income is. Obviously where you live, how old are you? Did you want to join with your partner or someone else, or do you want to do it by yourself? And once you qualify with over 140K super mark, okay, and you earn over 100K, whether it's by yourself or combined, we'll go ahead and let you know, obviously, what we do, our processes, and then so our processes are, our accountant, they'll set the self-managed super fund up, okay, get everything compliant with the ATO. Once that's all set up, we'll go ahead and get finance for you, okay, and based on your borrowing capacity and obviously where you want to purchase, we'll go ahead and do a discovery session with you and find out where the property that's going to be good for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Once that's all done, we'll our team in Georgia and Alyssa, they'll start transferring your super into your self-managed super fund, making sure get everything ready, set it all up, get a bare trust. And then once that's all sorted and you're ready you like the properties that we see, like we're guided by 2 things: your borrowing capacity and what you want. We're like a vehicle to get you to where you need to be. If obviously we've got all the stats and the data, all the information possible to make an executive decision of, the property, and it's going to be good for rental yield, capital growth. But at the end of the day, if you don't like those properties, you have a say because it's your money. It's your future. And we have a couple of clients, a few clients like that just want to purchase where they know. So we'll go ahead and we'll find the best property, negotiate their price property for them, purchase it, and then help them find tenants for that property as well. So we put them in contact with real estate property managers to manage their property. So it's a seamless process, but it's really complex. It's really complex. So there's a lot of moving parts to make it happen. But obviously, we've been doing this for a while. We're professionals, and it just takes away a lot of the hard work for our clients. but yet they're still on that journey with us, and we're on the journey with them. Sorry, and it's their journey, and we just do what our clients want us to do. And then we got some clients who are in the mines, just go, mate, just do it, just find us a property, and they don't. And then
Make
you
me
find,
money.
100%. And there's people that have like qualified to do it too, but they just want to just see how the first one goes, and then as soon as they settle, they're always already talking about the second one because of the process. We take everything, all the hard work away from our clients, so they can, like I said before, you're coming back from shift, you've got hardly any time to do this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
very complex.
absolutely. And can I just say, for everyone who's watching, I like to put my money where my mouth is, and I've actually jumped on with these guys because after years of seeing my super do absolutely go almost backwards, I was like, that's it, I'm done. So yeah, I'm actually going through the process right now, and I can reiterate and verify that it has been such a smooth situation. And even if you're a business owner, which like me, there's a few extra things that you need to do, but so far it has just been a walk in the park. And to get to the stage where I'm almost about to purchase a property with my own super, it is so exciting. So can I just say thank you to yourself and Matt and Cody and the whole team as well. So yeah,
it's our privilege. It's good. It's awesome helping other people, and I think that's one of the reasons why I do this as well, is helping people who need the help, right? Like that's more beneficial than watching someone who can purchase a property thinking that they can't, right? And they just give up, and then when you do purchase them a property and seeing their face and hearing their voice, that's the biggest reward.
Yeah. So way better than mining, I could imagine.
Oh, 100%. Because you can do a good thing right in the mines, and not that I'm there for the accolades or anything, but you don't really, you don't. It just next shift comes in, and you don't really get recognized, sort of
Groundhog Day.
100%. And it's just like but you in this industry, you're helping people because there's like I said, when I first come over here, my biggest dream was to get the big job in the mines, get a house, get everything. And a lot of people just get stuck, and they get stuck in their own, they do it again, repeat the process. And this is an opportunity for people to leverage their super to purchase property and be in the property game, and set their retirement up, and eventually get their own property to live in. But I mean, using super, why not? It's just sitting there. Most miners don't even know it's there. They don't. Well, they don't even know what it's invested in. So don't ask that. So if I was the miner right now, I'd be asking the question, where's my money sitting? And do your research on them, and then make an executive decision like that.
Definitely. And they don't call it safe as houses for no reason. Like, obviously we all know the housing cycle is 7 years. It goes up and down. So it's obviously the best. What I really like about you guys is the fact that you have access to the whole market across Australia. So some markets might be going down, and that would be an ideal place to purchase a property, as opposed to ones that are going up. So that's why I'm extremely happy that I've made this decision finally to jump on with you guys, and that I wanted to share this with everybody else as well. But let's talk about, right, we've got a lot of people who have worked in the mines. They might not meet the criteria of having that 140 in their super, or I know every miner is basically earning 100K. And if you're not, come and see me. We'll make sure that you are. That's why I can really resonate with you guys as well, because we help people to get these $100,000 FIFO jobs, and you guys help them after that process so that they can make the most of their career and their own money, which is so awesome. But to the initial question that I was trying to blurt out before that word salad, tell me, if somebody is like sitting on the fence right now thinking, oh yeah, they're making it sound way easier, but I don't meet that minimum criteria of having 140,000 yet. What are some strategies people can implement right now to actually start boosting their super so they can actually meet that criteria?
Yeah. So there's a few options, right? You can actually combine with someone else, a family member. They can, as long as they're over 18 and they're working, they're getting some super into their Australian superannuation, or whoever the superannuation company is. Or you can salary sacrifice, right? And you can put more into your super to build it up from there. It's, it's good for your taxes as well. So when you not a financial advisor, but when you do your taxes, like it comes off your actual taxable income. So that's what a lot of people do as well, just to
Yeah.
boost it up.
And I just started doing that as well. And I think like I was apprehensive about doing it for ages because I just did not trust what was going on with my super company, and that when I got to retirement age, it would still be there. But when I started getting serious about it, I think it's you can again, I'm not an expert on this, but I think your taxable rate is sitting at 15%, and some miners are paying 38% tax. So to get your tax down and to be able to put potentially, is it 27,000 into your super per year? That can be an easy way to boosting it really fast and getting your tax rate down.
100%, 100%. And then, like if you are on 127,000, you put that 27,000 to super, you get taxed at 100K. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But see our financial advisor, Scott, and he'll be able to help you out doing all that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not financial advice.
No, not at all.
All right, cool. So tell me what is the best success story that you have come across you personally, for somebody, especially working in the mining industry, working their ass off, doing 12-hour days in 40-degree heat, who's come to you guys and said, help me to do it all for me, make me money. What's the best results that you've seen so far?
This, honestly, and this isn't even being egg or being a clown, but most of our clients have anything over 150 within a year or 18 months is amazing, right? So even 100K in a whole year is amazing. So
Yeah.
you can work for 15 years and not even make that. So
Yeah.
so I reckon one of the best ones was actually one of my first ones I helped sign up. You probably see the ad running around, and they actually are a family from Kalgoorlie as well. They combined, they had 60K each or something, and they combined it to make it happen. And now they've got 3 properties inside their self-managed super fund. We're able to help them purchase properties outside of their super for each family. So that was a cool success story, just because it's probably one of my first ones. And also, they were close friends too, so that was cool. Seeing them struggle, not struggle, they were just every week in, week out, doing what they do, and families in Cal, and because Kalgoorlie is quite tight knit family, and to create a over $1 million property portfolio for them is quite amazing, to be honest, and especially with the little amount of super that they each had to combine with the one, and now that's what their portfolio is with. And then recently, there's been a few, and one of my, I said it before, but I spoke to this guy. He's been in the mines for 15 years or something. Earns 180K, had 180 in super. And when I first initially spoke to him, he wanted to retire on, at least 2 properties, which is cool. That's massive. 2 properties, all worth 500K each or over 600K. When you retire, that's 1.1 to 1.2 million, right? But so we purchased him an investment property here in Perth for 385, sold it for 585, made 200K capital for him. Then we were able to turn that into purchasing him 2 more properties, using it as a deposit for 2 properties. And now he's purchasing in his own, using his equity from his actual personal home. Now he has 4, he'll have 4 properties.
Wow.
In a space of 18 months, which is,
Epic.
crazy. Like, you do the math, even if each house is worth 500K when you retire, that's 2 mil, right? So from 180K.
Yeah.
That's how powerful leveraging property and super is. So it's powerful. It is. Yeah.
Definitely. And trust me, I will be getting my 20-year-old niece to come on board with you guys as well. And basically everybody that I know, because this is just phenomenal. And so far, I can just say that I've had such a great experience with you guys. You've been very, very patient with me not getting stuff back to you as well. So I'm looking forward to, obviously documenting my journey with you guys on my social media, and directing as many people as I can to you guys, because I cannot fault your service at all. All of the team has been amazing. So yeah, thank you so much. I just wanted to say that.
Appreciate that. No, I appreciate that. It's we are like in this thing that we understand that like yourself, you're busy. You're in smashing. Your amazing business, helping people. Get into the mines, and and that's a thing that we value our service to is that we understand. Like especially
Yeah,
myself, that miners, busy people just got no time. So
yeah,
they're out on shift to get their docks back. We'll just find out their shift pattern, and when they come back the third day, then we'll ask them, okay, this is what we need, just so they can have a rest. Like you get back, like go to work 6 o'clock in the morning, jump back on the bus, come back to the donga, have a shower, could go to the gym, go get the mess, get the feed, go to sleep. There's no time. That's the last thing you want to do.
yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so
Last thing you want to do when you're a miner in general is think about super. You're like, whatever, I'm sure it's going to be fine. And then actually take some action to take control of it. So I wish I'd have done this years ago. So I'm so grateful that I found you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we go in a year from now, and seeing how I can grow this portfolio instead of actually looking at my super going, oh, it hasn't even moved. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's
yeah.
gone backwards. And
Oh,
I've got to say, my current employer pays very good super. So yeah,
oh,
I'll just
that
um
happens to everyone too. Like it's just life, right? It's life. It happens. We understand it, and but the biggest thing you could do is just like I said, just have a crack. Have a crack at
yeah,
it. Mhm.
definitely. 100%. So look, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. Is there any final words that you want to leave people with?
Um, no, like if you've been thinking about this for a while, or you've been thinking about your financial status, if it's too hard to get a property, which it is, it's hard to save up money. Especially if you're a miner, you come back, you get back on, you go on the drink, catch up with your friends and family, or catch up with some beers and that, or purchasing the flashiest car, jet skis. But if you're really serious and you really want to make moves and for your future and retirement for your family, my best advice is just reach out, and see if you do qualify, see what we can do, see what we've done. Jump on our website, wtcapital.com.au. Jump on, get in touch with Alana. She will help you direct you to us. And yeah, just do it. Like just if you're thinking about it and you've been thinking about it for the last 2 years, you probably missed out on 200K, in your
Yeah,
super. But that's just one area in Australia, right? We will find another area that will go up. We do it all the time. So yeah, just yeah,
reach out.
yeah,
Yeah,
reach
definitely.
out to Alana. She'll direct you in the best possible way. So
Yeah, and for anyone who is watching this, if you, like I said at the start of this video, I know everyone's time poor, so if you haven't already done it, save this video, subscribe to this channel. If you are watching it from the YouTube channel, there is a link below this. You can register and actually download a free ebook or book in to have a chat with these guys. A chat is free, and you can work out exactly whether this is right for you. This is not financial advice, but I can tell you honestly, I wish I'd done this years ago. So if you're watching in the TikTok channel, because we'll be releasing this absolutely everywhere, just say me. We can't put the link anywhere here, although we might be able to put it in the first comment. Up in my standstill, you can actually go and click on the link to, again, access the free ebook, which can give you a little bit of insight and reiterate what Shane has gone over today, or just say me and we'll send you the link, full stop. So that's it. Shane, I just want to ask you in closing, where do you
yep.
reckon the next hot spot's going to be to buy property that's going to be positively geared?
Yeah,
And very
yeah,
quick.
100%. Look, there's a lot, but my best advice would be just to click on Alana's link to get that hotspot. Now we look Central Queensland has been doing really well at the moment, up in Townsville as well. There's a lot of benefits out those ways as well. So it's going to
Yeah.
be good.
Perfect. You guys are going to love me as a client. I'll just be like, listen, where would you go? Where would you buy? Okay, buy there.
Yeah, all right, those
Yeah,
are the best ones, just to do it. But I
I'm
like
in your hands.
well, that's what you pass for, right? Like we guide you, and
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like we want you to be on that bus in that journey and ride that journey with us, and we'll cliche take you to the promised land sort of thing. So it's all
Uh, oh, you better. But yeah, so guys, again, in the link somewhere around this video, there is, you can book in, like download a free ebook or go and have a chat with these guys. We will, that link can direct you exactly to them. So if you meet the criteria of having 140K in your super, or if you're getting close to that, or if you are earning $100,000 or you need help getting a $100,000 job, obviously contact us. We'll get you in. But yeah, there are plenty of strategies that you can utilize to make the most of this. I'm just going to say, action it now. The property industry has gone mental in Perth. I kid you not. Bought a house for 795. 5 months later, they were valuing it at 950. I've never seen my super do that before. If you have, then stay with your super company. Other than that, get in contact with
100%.
these
Like,
guys.
that's crazy. Like, yeah, 2 years ago, we were purchasing properties in Perth, 385, 400. You
Yeah,
can't do that anymore. Like, it's hard. Like, and it's everyone, it's everyone knows, like, that lives here
yeah.
in Perth or lives over east, is they know that it's too hard to get a $385,000 house. Like,
God, yeah.
the cost of materials over east cost more than that. All right. So and now look at it, it's gone up to 500 to 600K easily, and
Yeah,
that's that's not even including the rental yield, the rental income that you're going to be getting as well. So yeah,
definitely.
crazy.
Definitely worth doing. 100%. I am so excited. But anyway, Shane, thank you so much for your time. Matt, Cody, all the boys, I'm sure you're all watching this. Yeah, and if you're watching at home, you want to get in on this, I want to set yourself up so that you don't have to be in the mining industry for 17 years like me, and you could retire earlier with a shit ton of properties. Download the free ebook, have a chat with these guys. That's all I'll say. Shane, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Alana. Thanks, Win-Win. Amazing as always. Thank you.